Welcome to the Real Estate Power Play Podcast, your launch pad for skyrocketing success in real estate investing. I'm your host, Gabe Rodarte, alongside Mark Monroe. We're ready to bring you transformative stories, groundbreaking strategies, and the insider secrets of real estate giants. Get ready to accelerate your investment journey and become a true power player in the world of real estate. Hey guys, what's happening? Gabe here with the Real Estate Power Play Podcast, and just the many other things that we're doing out here in the marketplace and in real estate investing. We're doing the commercial side. We have the residential side. Today, I'm excited to bring to you Logan Fullmer, a good buddy of mine, hosting an event. And we're going to go into some of the details of the event of basically what he's going to go over, some of the people that he has speaking on there, and then also just a little bit more detail, just a little bit to show you guys what we're going to be doing when this event does happen. So Logan, welcome to the show. Man, tell us about what you're doing. I'm watching you. I see you all over the place. You're doing great, like posting and stuff. I don't know how you sleep. And you have family and kids. So what's happening?
Yeah.
What's this event about? And then this whole journey that you're going through.
Yeah, thanks, my dude. I appreciate it. Um, well, most of my business is distressed real estate. We've got a commercial portfolio, do some land development, but the core of our business, where a large part of our income comes from, the money we use to pay bills, buy warehouses, do land deals, it all comes from distressed real estate. And early in my real estate journey, I was flipping houses, and I just tried every option that there was because you don't know what you don't know. And the couple deals that I did that were what I would call like deep value investments, I bought them for significantly less than they were worth at that moment. And I just resold it immediately. I didn't do any construction work. I didn't have to place a tenant. I didn't do any of that. Those seem to be my best deals. And so in the first couple of years, I was looking back at all my deals saying, which were the ones I liked the most? Let me focus on those. And over time, I started to really focus on the curative title and the ownership disputes and things like that, because most real estate investors walk away from them. They don't want to deal with the hassles because they haven't been trained and they don't know the ropes. So those are the ones that everybody's walking away from. But I could find, since no one wanted them, I could trade these sellers down to just pennies on the dollar, literally, and make huge margins. So that's been my business for about 10 years. And we're typically right now, our average over the last 100 deals is $48,000 is the average acquisition price, and the average sales price is $194,000.
Nice.
So there's about $150,000 gross margin. And you got to subtract a little bit of cost of capital for using our credit line. You got to have realtor fees out of that, but you end up with about $125,000 net margin. That's very typical right now.
Wow. And so one of the things that I've noticed also is the market shifting, right? And so you saw this stuff happen. You've been doing this for 10 years. This past couple years, I'm guessing you're seeing the market shift enough. Some of these wholesalers and guys like me, guys who still do flipping and still buy houses, we're starting to see some of those margins flex a little bit too much. And I'm getting these phone calls from friends and buddies going, man, there's got to be another way. However, this is high hanging fruit. This is not low hanging fruit. This is not something that you're just going to go and dig into and see it, pick it off the tree and make a quick buck. This is some stuff that you have to have some skill in.
Man, you're right. And that was before I started the coaching program and the event stuff that I have. I was concerned that if we tried to do something too complicated, it wasn't going to work. That's why I think a lot of commercial coaching is hard, because it can take years. It might take 6 months or a year to get your first deal, and running a program for that long is tough. But we were able to distill the teaching method, I guess you could say. And I started with the model that I trained my 4 business partners when I built a business with them and did all this work and got their business going. It was the exact same model. And I distilled it to what are the key matters. And if you get trained up on probably 5 or 6 different things, that will get you through 70% of these deals. Now, the other 30% are extreme complexities, and there's all kinds of stuff. And I don't recommend everyone do those unless you're set up with experience in your office like that. But you don't need to do those to make a boatload of money. So we've just narrowed it down to the exact skills you need to be able to be really good, and formulated our program around that. And that's how we make a good part of our money. So we're able to teach and communicate that really effectively. So the reason that matters so much now, though, is because, like you were saying, everybody is spending all their time trying to figure out how to fix their business because the market has shifted so much. And businesses that worked really well, made a lot of money for a long time, are just getting tougher and tougher. Competition's getting tougher. Interest rates have gone up. Buyers are getting more discerning. Fewer buyers are available in the marketplace, and they're being more disciplined. So with all those pressures, unless your margin is, I mean, unless your business operation is like the best, it's going to hurt. And I'll tell you, man, in the last couple of years, it's been really crazy to watch where folks can't lower their wholesale price because they have an underlying contract, or they can't sell their flip for less money because they have this, cost basis. Ours
Right.
is so low that when the market would shift, all we would do is just continue to lower our pricing until the product would sell. And that's
Right.
because we bought it for 20 or 30, 40 cents on the dollar. So we priced it at 95 cents on the dollar at market. And if the market isn't accepting that because the market's falling because rates are going up, we just lower the price. And eventually you hit a point where there's no bad product, only bad pricing. Once you
Right.
correct the pricing, boom, it sells. So that's where our advantage has been in the last couple of years. And we didn't realize that was going to be so meaningful when we started 10 years ago. We just knew it
Wow.
worked great. But when the market dove, we're like, oh my God, we're safe. It was scary for a little while.
So in your guys' group, and this is just me, I might throw a tangent here, but
Yeah.
before this whole downturn, or us resettling on our price adjustments, was things just kind of like, I mean, during 2021, 22, you guys must have been just like, whatever we have just sells like crazy. And
Yeah, we
then,
were slaughtering it.
yeah, I was gonna say, you guys could have, I mean, at this point, you guys are just going, we've already gone through such a crazy up season. This down season's just kind of like, it's not affecting us as much. And I'm hearing people do stuff like, and this is for you, if you're a listener, and you are doing multiple states or multiple marketplaces, or you're doing other stuff just to diversify your business, which works great. But that does take a high degree of scalability, business acumen, what you're doing as far as what kind of product you're doing, whether it's flipping or wholesaling or whatever that might be. You have your crews, you have your team, you have everything that you need to do to have that product. Then you got to get on the market, and then you need to have to take into account the price adjustment that might happen. We had something out there at 275. We ended up selling it at 240. Normally that
Woo.
would hurt somebody drastically. That would have hurt me if I would have bought at a different price. But I bought it so darn low. And that's really, guys, we're in this program with Logan. And just to let you guys know, my wife, Lou, she's really leading the charge in all of that. She's in communication with the team. And because if it wasn't for us acquiring that property with 30K, we wouldn't be able to
Damn.
sell it. So we would
You
have been in a
stuck.
tight spot. Yeah, I would have been really stuck. And so, and we do commercial stuff. We do residential. I've done residential for 15 years, but that one deal helped me to realize, and then the adjustment of the marketplace helped me to realize, you know what? If there's more like this, even though it was a
Oh,
problem, even though if it was
they're
a pain in the butt,
they're
even
everywhere.
that's my point, is like I started realizing. And then I talked to some of the people, some of the students. For those who don't know, there are some students that actually are really successful in this group, and you don't have to wait a year and a half or a year to be successful in this group.
Right.
So I was like, hey, how's it working? Like, man, Logan's right. People will always make mistakes, there'll always be issues, and there'll always be more properties to look at, because this is high hanging fruit. This is very technical stuff, but it's really cool stuff. It's available right in front of you. You just don't know how to see it.
There are two things that most people struggle with unless they're very unique. Being a good salesperson, some people are born like that, but a lot of us have to learn. So being good salesperson is one of the issues. Oh my gosh, I just went blank on the other one. Oh, valuation. So like it's kind of tough, when you're looking at property that's not built in a Lennar neighborhood in 2015 with a whole bunch of houses just like it. You have to value 7 acres with a tear down mobile home on the edge of town. It gets tougher. There's all these different things that are tougher to value, but with this model, I've never actually exercised those skills in an outsized way where I was forced to get good at them. So admittedly, I kind of suck at valuing property sometimes. And I'm probably not the best salesperson out there. I don't have those traditional sales techniques that people get during training, but I don't have to have those. I was lucky enough that this model works. When you're buying something for 30 cents on the dollar, it doesn't matter how good or bad you are at valuing. I use the appraisal district, and the appraisal district says this thing is worth 300,000. That's close enough because I'm going to buy it for 50. The appraisal district can be above or below 100 grand, and I'm so safe it doesn't matter. So the valuation got easy. When it comes to the sales pitch, I'll say it the other way. When I'm buying from a person, I call it salesmanship, but you're trying to get a deal done. I'm not a great salesperson in my mind, but the answer is so simple. You've been trying to do this for 10 years. No one's able to clean this up. No one in your family, no attorneys you've hired, none of those people that you've contracted with have been able to fix it. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to do all these special things. I'm going to send you a contract and I'll close in 3 or 4 days. That's it. If you want your money, sign this and you get paid in 3 or 4 days. I'll promise you nothing except I'm going to get you your money in 3 or 4 days. That's it. Now, my price is going to be very low because of all the problems that you know. And that's my whole damn pitch, man. It's incredible. It doesn't have to
Wow.
be smart, doesn't have to be complicated, but I'm going to deliver that 20 grand to you in 3 days. That's it. And those two factors, not having to value really well and not having to be a great salesperson, are really nice because when you're in a competitive market like wholesaling or flipping and you're trying to generate your own leads, man, your people are getting freaking good out there, dude. And
Again,
we
really
don't have,
good.
yeah, we don't have to get good in those ways.
Yeah, that's really cool that you said that. Now that I think about most of the real estate training that's residential based, wholesaling, flipping, seller financing. We run a seller fund. We have creative financing. We do all of these unique strategies that I do. And you have to brush up on you have to be knowledgeable. It's something that you have to keep your hand on the pulse quite a bit, know what's happening with the market, know what's happening with some of the laws that are going on, especially when you're doing creative financing.
Oh yeah.
But your skill level has to be pretty high because you're convincing someone to sell a house to you with their own money. So this isn't just, you chuckle, but it's true, right? So, you know, I want to buy the home from you and I'm going to use your money to do it. So, that it's going to take a little bit of skill to do that. So let's jump into this event. You've been planning this for a little bit of time. You're excited about it. What do you do? Like 2 or 3 of these a year. So this is the first one of 2025. Let's go into it.
Well, I'll have a couple events a year, but this particular event, I'll do it once a year. This is where I put most of my effort. The other ones are good to get people together and they're fun, but this is the one where I go over our entire business model. It's a full 8 hour day. I don't have outside speakers. I don't have no Andy Elliott showing to get everybody hype. I don't have any of that. It is literally me and the people in my office and folks we work with closely. That's it. So, admittedly, we don't have some of the best hype guys. Again, I default to that a lot, but what we have are technical people that have figured it out and aren't rocket scientists and make a boatload of money. So during that 8 hour day, my job, my promise to everybody who shows up is that they will walk away understanding this business. There will be some dots off to connect over time, but they will understand what this business looks like from a 1 person operation to a 4 or 5 person operation, for a business as little as it makes $1 million a year to a business as big it makes $9 or $10 million a year. All those businesses operate in my office. So I've got
Wow.
access to them all because I own a quarter or a half of each one of those and I'm involved. And then along the way, we go through seller calls. We listen to recorded calls because people say, oh my gosh, what you're telling me sounds easy, but how do I make that pitch to somebody? So we've got an hour where we sit down all together with a couple hundred people in this room and listen to seller calls and
Wow.
like chop it up, together. We go over what kind of agreements we need. We also talk about high level like ideology from this business, why it's so different than what people are doing now. And most people that show up, they're either in wholesaling, they're realtors, or they're house flipping, but they all end up wanting to generate their own leads because they want better deals. So we talk about what this business looks like as a transfer from that business.
Yeah.
There's a process that people kind of go through. Now I've seen a lot now. So we go through that. We do some case studies, which is really cool because people say, I love watching your 30-second videos on the internet, about how you made this money and it was crazy, but like I got more questions. So we do a bunch of case studies, how we found the deal, how we marketed it, how we closed it, the problems we had to solve, and then what our sales process looked like to go get rid of the thing. Everybody walks away and says, either this is for me, holy shit, I'm after this, or this isn't what I thought it was. Although it's incredible, this isn't cut out for me and I'm not going to do it. But you walk out of there knowing exactly what's up when you're done.
Man, that's awesome. So guys, what's the date on this? This is February 22nd?
Bingo. Yeah. Good memory.
February 22nd. This is going to be what's the location and stuff? We'll put the links in here also, y'all.
Yeah, we're at the Marriott downtown Austin. The place fits 500 people. I've never had that many. I've always just
Wow.
done a couple hundred and sold out every time and just thought, I'm the king. Great, I sold out. And then I was talking to Cody Spurber and he was like, I just did 3,000 people. I'm like, oh my God. okay, I'm gonna go from 250 to five. He's like, why don't you go 500? I'm like, I don't know how. And he's like, yeah, you do. Just do it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I
Wow.
suspect we'll sell it out, but you know, it's a big jump.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, guys. So look, I've done my research. I've looked around. I've found other groups. I've done other stuff just like most of the people that listen to this stuff. But I'm telling you what, the stuff that's in here is really legit. And I tell you why. Lou and I, we do some very creative deals. And I have noticed that the biggest expand, like the biggest revenue gap has been the most complicated type of transactions, the ones that are like little sticky. You got 3 or 4 different heirs to freaking 10 heirs. You have someone who's lost out in the woods and you got to go find them to go get a document. There's all types of stuff. You got issues from the land that by the way, Logan's great at, and he didn't even mention the fact of how he knows how to divide up land and do the land aspect of things, because I know he's doing a lot of land things that's very tough to get in front of. I know there's a lot of land people out there that wants to know more about land or doing land, or you find a nice juicy property that you don't know how to acquire, or you don't know how to like get it out of landlock. This is the guy to connect with. So we will see you there. I'm going to put the link in here. Call me, text me, let me know if you need anything, and then you'll be able to connect with Logan's team and we'll go from there. So, all right, guys, we'll see you.
Love
Peace.
it.